Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry that I could not travel both, I chose the road less traveled by, and that has made all the difference in the world. A 20th century poem that truly does speak of timeless truths. The importance of choice. The fact that each and every day, in some way, large and small, you and I are invited to make a choice. A choice between good or bad, light or dark, sometimes between self and other. And through it all, when we allow ourselves to look inside, we can feel a pull because of God's love. We can feel a pull toward the light, the good, the other. We certainly see that at work in the readings today. Two characters in this little tale of a dinner party thrown for Jesus and Lazarus after that great miracle. Two major players, I would say, Judas and Mary. And it's very clear who is choosing what road, who is choosing self, who is choosing other, who is choosing good, who is choosing bad. Judas, once again concerned for himself and his own opinion, his own likes, his own dislikes, using an opportunity to just throw out an idle sarcastic comment when he sees this very expensive oil being used in a way that, well, at that particular moment he didn't appreciate. Judas tending toward the self. Mary, the appreciation she must have felt. She and her sister losing their brother. The timely appearance of Jesus, calling Lazarus from death to life, literally and figuratively. How appreciative was she that she got down on her own hands and knees to wipe the feet of Jesus. We've got to remember that back then, they didn't wear leather shoes and they didn't walk on paved streets. They lived in the desert and they wore sandals. Your feet were always kind of dry and dirty because of the sand. And it was a great, great gift to have your feet cleaned before dinner. She did it herself. How appreciative was Jesus at that small kindness when he had so much on his mind. This was the week. He could read the signs of the times. He knew what was about to happen to him. And that very small human kindness when she washed and dried his feet. How appreciative he would have been. My friends, and then there's us. Fast forward 2,000 years to our own everyday lives. I was lying on the couch last night. It was about 9 o'clock and my phone rang. I've got an awful cold. And I was lying on the couch and a buddy of mine called at 9 and said, "Hey, what are you doing?" He said, "I'm lying on the couch. I've got a cold that just won't quit." Well, that phrase stayed in my mind when I prayed these readings in readiness for our Mass this morning. Just won't quit. A cold that just won't quit. My friends, you and I are asked to live in the 21st century with an attitude for Christ that just won't quit. When we live our lives with that attitude, that we know who we are in him and what we can achieve in him, we are reminded that through our actions, through our words and our deeds, we reveal his goodness, his light, his kindness. When you and I allow that to happen, when we live a Christianity that just won't quit, people see him in us. People hear him in us. When we live, as St. Paul wrote so long ago, with an attitude of Christ, we allow the holiness of this Holy Week, the goodness of this Holy Week, touch everyone that we meet. And when that happens, amazing things happen. Lives are transformed. Things change. People are consoled. Compassion is felt. And the Father looks at the sacrifice of his Son, lived by us, and smiles when we allow ourselves to treat one another truly as brothers and sisters.